In the cutthroat world of old-school RuneScape's free-to-play servers, where every single advantage is fought for, there's one build that stands out. It's a monument to pure, raw power. See, this isn't about balance. It's not about being a jack of all trades. This is about becoming a weapon, one that's been meticulously crafted for one thing and one thing only, to completely dominate the player versus player arena with just overwhelming force. Today, we are dissecting the legend, the F2P Strength Pure. Okay, let's just dive right in. Take a look at this. This image, right here, it captures the entire philosophy. You gotta forget being good at everything. This is a glass cannon, a character built to take basically zero punishment, but to deliver a single fight-ending blow. The whole strategy is to hit so hard and so fast that your opponent never even gets a chance to hit you back. It's like a high-wire act with no safety net. One wrong move, one missed click, and your own cannon shatters. But the payoff? Oh, the payoff is legendary. It is an absolutely thrilling all-or-nothing playstyle that has defined a huge part of the F2P PvP scene. So let's get into the blueprint for this beast. How do you actually build it? And, more importantly, why on earth would you intentionally make a character with such huge, glaring weaknesses? Well, as we're about to see, every single sacrifice is a calculated move. It's a deliberate choice you make to get a massive, almost unfair advantage when you're in the heat of combat. First up, let's just get the definition down. A Strength Pure is an exercise in extreme specialization. I mean, you pour every single ounce of effort into maxing out one combat stat, strength, which is what decides how high you can hit. At the same time, you intentionally completely neglect your attack skill, which decides your accuracy, and your defense skill, which, protects you. Keeping them at level 1 isn't for new players. No, it's the sign of a master planner at work. This brings us to the big question. What's the actual goal here? Well, it's all about gaming the system. See, in RuneScape, the game figures out your overall power, your combat level, with a formula that looks at your attack, defense, strength, and other stats. By intentionally keeping 2 of those key stats at rock bottom, you're basically tricking the system. You look weak, but you're hiding the power of a sledgehammer. The whole point is to get the highest possible damage while keeping your combat level as low as humanly possible. This lets you fight opponents who, on paper, have no chance against your hidden power. And it all starts right here, level 99 strength. This is the absolute peak. It's the engine of the entire build. Having 99 strength means your damage potential is just astronomical for your combat level. To put that in perspective for you, a level 40 character with balanced stats might hit a max of, 10 or 12? With 99 strength, you're hitting well over 20, maybe even one-shotting opponents who thought they were in for an easy fight just seconds before. This is where those devastating fight-ending hits come from. Now, here's the first huge sacrifice. Your attack level is locked at 1, forever. And what that means is your accuracy is, it's terrible. You're gonna miss. A lot. It can be super frustrating, just swinging and hitting nothing, feeling like you're fighting with a blindfold on. But that's the trade-off, you see. You're not trying to land a dozen little hits. You are swinging for the fences every single time. And that one moment you connect, that glorious moment when the hammer lands and you see that massive number pop up, it makes all those misses totally worthwhile. And here it is, the final, crucial piece of the puzzle, level 1 defense. This is what makes you a true glass cannon. You just can't take a hit. But by keeping your defense at 1, you are fundamentally messing with the game's combat level formula. And this is where the mind games start. Your opponent's confidence, that becomes their biggest weakness. They see your low combat level, they rush in thinking easy kill, and they walk right into a perfectly laid trap, totally unaware they're facing a damage-dealing machine. So when you put it all together, the advantages are just undeniable. You've got those insane max hits we talked about, you have the low combat level edge, which is really your secret weapon, but then you've got F2P dominance. In the free-to-play world where all the best gear is limited, raw stats are king. This build is perfectly tuned for that environment. And believe it or not, there's even strategic versatility. I know it sounds weird for such a specialized build, but as we'll see, you can train other non-melee skills to add some surprising flexibility without ever hurting your main advantage. So, you're sold on the idea, but how do you actually forge this warrior? Look, this isn't a build you can just whip up overnight. This is where it truly tests you, not in a fight, but in sheer willpower. The grind is a core part of the old-school RuneScape experience. It's a rite of passage for any serious player. And for a Strength Pure, it's a long, repetitive, and super dedicated journey that really separates the casuals from the truly committed. What's really interesting here is how this maps out a player's whole career. The path to 99 is this well-trodden road. You start with the most humble beginnings imaginable. Then you move on. And eventually, that final stretch is spent on creatures like sand crabs. A lot of players use what's called AFK, or away from keyboard training here. It basically means you find a spot where you can attack stuff that won't kill you, so you can gain experience while you're doing homework, watching a movie, or even sleeping. It turns the game into this marathon of patience, just slowly building up power over months, sometimes even years. But get this, the grind isn't just about swinging a weapon. A smart Pure also trains ranged and magic. Because the combat level formula treats them differently, you can get both ranged and magic all the way up to level 67, and that unlocks some incredibly useful abilities. You can teleport around the map, you can use spells like high-level alchemy to make money, or even use your bow to weaken an opponent before you run in for the kill. And the best part? All of this without raising your combat level a single point from your melee stats. It adds that strategic versatility we mentioned earlier, making you more than just a one-trick pony. Okay, the training is done. You've got the stats. But a warrior is nothing without their weapon and armor, right? So let's talk about arming for dominance. Because in the world of F2P, where your options are limited, every single piece of gear is critical to squeezing out that last little drop of power. And this right here, this is the heart of the build's arsenal, the Rune Warhammer. It's not the fastest weapon out there, not by a long shot, but it hits like an absolute truck. And most importantly, it only requires level 1 attack to use it. This makes it the perfect and really the only top-tier choice for this build. It has a fantastic strength bonus, which is all you care about. This isn't just a weapon, it's the signature tool of your trade. Yeah, the source material just absolutely nails it. It's not just an important item, it is the cornerstone of this entire build. And this isn't something you just get easily either. Getting a Rune Warhammer is a huge milestone for a free-to-play account. It's a symbol that you are serious about your build. Without it, the one-attack Strength Pure just wouldn't exist in its most powerful form. Everything you've trained for, all those hours grinding away, is all in service of maximizing the damage of this one single weapon. So what else do you wear? Well, the setup is laser-focused on one thing, that strength bonus. It's like a puzzle where every piece has to fit perfectly. The Amulet of Strength, that's the single biggest strength bonus you can get in F2P. It's not optional, it's essential. The fighting boots, which you get from a pretty dangerous dungeon, another key piece. It's a small bonus, sure, but in a game of inches, every single point of strength matters. Everything else is just chosen to max out damage or to avoid getting any unwanted defense experience. All right, the stats are maxed, the gear is equipped. Now for the really fun part. It is time to unleash this monster in the arena. All that prep, all that theory crafting and grinding, it all comes down to this, putting your power to the test against other players, where this build truly and brutally shines. So how do you actually pilot this glass cannon in the heat of battle? It's a deadly dance of timing and calculation. See, it's not about a long, drawn-out duel, it's about engineering one perfect moment. You stalk your prey, you hunt for other Pures or just players with low defense. Then you unleash everything all at once. You chug a strength potion, you set your combat style to aggressive, and you say a little prayer that your hammer connects. You carry food like swordfish, not to win a war of attrition, but just to survive long enough to land that one perfect KO hit. Now, for those who want to take their Pure to the absolute highest level, there's one final piece, training prayer to 52. This is a big extra investment, but it unlocks some game-changing abilities. Protect item saves your precious Warhammer if you die, but more importantly, Smite drains your opponent's prayer points. This is what separates the casual Pures from the absolute legends of the wilderness. Smite lets you counter players who are using defensive prayers, turning their own strategy right back against them. It transforms you from just a heavy hitter into a strategic duelist. And so, we end here. The warrior is complete. A perfect killing machine, forged through hundreds of hours of pure dedication, armed with the best gear possible, and guided by a clear, brutal strategy. The training is finally over, the fury is unleashed. This build isn't just about numbers on a screen, it's a testament to focus, to planning, and to pure, unadulterated power. And it leaves us with one simple, provocative question. When you step into the wilderness, who is the first to fall?